recording. Right, let's go through alts 3-day 1 inch. So 1 inch is now getting close to the trend line, downtrend line. The trend is still down at a higher time frame. Now it is climbing up, right? So it's improving. Away, it's moving away. Now next resistance will be the support, which was broken above. So you can assume, you can forget this for now, so you can assume that it will react near the support level. Okay, then ADA has uh, retested this level and now climbing up. So this is actually different structure. Yeah, I think it didn't break below, it didn't make new low. It didn't make new low since, which is good. More or less the same from 7th September. So showing a strength here. You can expect algo to react here, but then the next one is R8. Consider the previous resistance as previous resistance as an resistance, while it goes also the support as resistance. So this is the immediate resistance, then this is the second resistance, and then there'll be all-time high, previous all-time high. Okay, Alice was good even before, before Bitcoin started, which is amazing and a bit surprising as well as an alt, because Alice was doing well even the Bitcoin was down. So that's interesting. If you look at so it's, you can expect again some kind of reaction here, because this is a major resistance. But yeah, right now the direction is up, and once this breaks above the yellow level, which is around 18, then I think then it is safe. For now it will just it might go slow and then speed up from here on. Atom is, I think, the strongest coin among the list, simply because in this correction it didn't go down much and it is almost near the previous high. Second, it also able to break above the previous all-time high after April May, and many coins are not even able to break above. So if you consider two factors, that how many coins were able to break above April May high, right, and the answer is not many, and among them even how many coins are again approaching the previous high from this recovery point of view, right, then this is also a front runner. So if you put these two aspect, if you consider these two aspects, then you will say Atom is the strongest one I have seen so far within the active list. Okay, and I would also put AVAX. Actually, I didn't see AVAX today, so AVAX as well, because it is again near R12. It didn't lose much in terms, and also new all-time high, right, made, and so this is also a strong one. Band, uh, it's good. It's come, yeah, it's looking good today, pretty good, 5.5%, and then again it will react near 11.65, right? So expect some reaction here. BNB is approaching the support which was broken below earlier. It tried to break above, it failed. Let's see what happens now. Okay, so it's approaching again. Okay, so basically it's simple that once this is broken above, you can expect this level 500, and if you can draw a trend line in this case, actually, um, in this case, so once this is broken above somewhere here, it should react. So you consider that this is entering in a heavy resistance zone. So maybe this area 500 plus would be good for BNB. Right now, consider everything is at a high level from a trend point of view. This is a bounce, but the trend is still down. Okay, trend is still down. CELR is also one of the strong ones actually, and it held up pretty well, supported by R3. So from preservation of value point of view, I would say this is a good one, definitely. Doge 1 2 3 touches and it didn't come down to this one. So if this fails and come down to this, we'll see major downside, right? So right now, because everything is going up, Doge is going, but this was also showing a sign of weakness, because if this would have gone down to this one, Doge would have been in a real trouble compared to many other coin, because of the pattern. So because this is here and now it is heading up, not here, this triangle may not realized, but it's too early to say, because it has to come down to this level. So this is a bounce, but I would not just accept it yet. It has to break above this support level, which is 0.27. So if you ask me, we can be interested in Doge once it breaks above 0.27. Now I'm not updating the support for a reason, right? I'm not updating the support because the recent low I'm considering as support. So anything, and for example, this recent low, consider that as support, right? I'm not changing because since situation is not changed yet, and once it breaks above, I will keep this support and say now this support remains the guide for you for any risk management. So if it breaks above and let's say it comes down to this level, now this support stays and say, okay, now it has to remain above this support, and if the support is broken below, then it's not good, right? That's why I'm not changing support. So this is broken above, you saw broken above the support, which is good. I'm not changing the support because the same point I mentioned, if it breaks below the support, that means it's not good. So any coin that has actually broken above previous support, you may consider that as a stronger ones. Okay. So for example, this has broken above the support, so that's a stronger one. It has also broken above R13, which is a good sign, right? And it is approaching R14. But remember, it's okay to be conservative, as I said, until R14 is broken above. So but if I want to categorize, I would categorize this, any coin right now approaching the previous high can be considered good. Any coin which is below the previous support considered to be weak, which will simplify. So Ethereum has just broken above the support. It was weak earlier. Now breaking above this support is a good sign, right? However, as soon as this is broken below, again I would say the same, that then it's a bad sign, right? Then it's not good. So now right now it's going up, which is good news, but it is going to be tricky. Now look at this nice this is following this fan, um, and then support. So this is a trend line helping a lot that way, and it has been working pretty well. Now this is approaching the support, right? So again, the same story, I'm not going to say anything different. This coin had hit the resistance, both of this resistance that I shared, and then came down, right? And then got support here. Good that it didn't make new low. Now it is trying to climb up, but as you can see, this is far from the previous. Now one may think that if it is far, then there is more opportunity. You're not wrong, right? Because you can say, if the Bitcoin doesn't go down, then you can say this is my 60% move. You're right in saying that, compared to anyone which is near the previous. But the thing is, it's tricky because it's not that any coin which is near, like AVAX or Atom, which are near this level, right, previous high, it doesn't mean they will not go up, right? So I think sometime it's many people think that because it has lower value, it will go up or you will get more percentage. I think it is true when the coin has momentum. This coin has not much of a momentum for last many days, so it may pick up some momentum. But I think the theory of saying that because this is going up by 60% compared to Atom, let's say, or AVEX or EGLD, I would not think that way, right? Because to me, this would accelerate once the support is broken above. Otherwise, the way it went down badly, it can make another low because it has that tendency. On this coin, goes up quickly, goes down quickly. So got to be very careful with this kind of volatile coin. Now FTM, nice clean chart. Retested this level. What is this level? R2. It retested this R2 and now climbing up. It broke above R3 and now heading for R4. So you can assume that now this will continue and it will give you whatever 23% of run, right? You can assume. And this is very simple, that if R3 is broken below, that means it's a red flag. And of course, if this is broken below, that means it's bad news, correct? So this is so simple. These levels, if you go by levels, then it becomes very easy, right? Because these are, now this is going to be resistance against. And if you look at when it was here, the R3 gave tough time, but now we got a clean shot. So you can expect it to go up, provided Bitcoin stays well. That is always underlying assumption or understanding, I would say. Now FTT broke below, and then you see couple of attempts, it failed. So that's why when you see this kind of a thing, you can consider this as good news, but don't go by the theory that now it will go up to 85 and all. Don't keep that kind of theory, in my point of view. Okay, if you may take interest, but you weightage point of view, I would rate this lower compared to any coin which is near all-time high. Okay, so we'll change its ranking not in a sense 1 to 3, but that which is better, kind of, so anything that is near all-time high is better. So um that's why this has to break above the support, and then we'll talk about, because you see how badly both these attempts were shot down. You don't want to be trapped like this. That's why it's important. I think that was a good example why it matters. Look at this example, another example why this support matters, and I didn't change because this is a guide. You see another example, it was shot down, it was a nice move, but not able to break above. So anyone who get, like it was like this candle, if you don't see this one and go back in past, when you see this candle, it's like awesome. Why not? Because you're seeing it. But the point is, if you ignore where it stands in a big game, then you might get this kind of surprise, right? So that's why these levels are very important. If it is close to support, that means you need to wait. You might think it's cheaper, but the probability of correction or probability of going high only when it breaks above resistance. And there are always, this is resistance, and so on. There are going to be many resistance, and each resistance is an achievement, right? So any coin that is near resistance, that can be safely avoided, as my experience is. Of course, it's not financial advice, but if I want to rank it, even though this is up by 4%, I would say this is still below support. So I would not rank this. So I would not look at percentage gain. I would say where it stands as part of its life cycle. from waves structure point of view, the waves life cycle point of view, right? I would like it to be here and ideally here. Then it is better, much better. So having said that, when the weightage is low, the amount can be lesser. So it doesn't mean it's not black and white. So don't misunderstand me. It's not black and white that it's bad. It simply means that if you have $100 to spend, right, for 2 coins, I would spend $20 for GRT, and I would spend 70 $60 for something which is near all-time high. So that's the difference. So the way I manage risk is this way, that it's not that you ignore it, but you recognize that this doesn't deserve equal amount of money compared to the coin which is near high. I hope this makes sense, right? So somebody might interpret that it you have to sit you know and do nothing. It's not like that. It's about weightage. It's about how much percentage of money, because I think anyone who is experienced would know that the best way to manage risk is by managing the money control, right? So whether you put little or full or leverage, it all depends. So the risk is proportional, right? So if you want to manage risk, control your money with respect to key technical levels. So if you have to put two things, one is money part is with you, right? I cannot control that. And technical part is with me. If I will give you technical levels where I'll say probabilistically, which is a safer level, absolutely safe or absolutely risky, there is nothing like that. It's always probable. So I would provide that information to you with this kind of explanation. But if somebody put money for something which is probabilistically risky, then that person is likely to lose more. And opposite is true about the opportunity. So that's why I always say it's a teamwork. If I give all the information, but somebody leverage something, or somebody put a lot of money in something which is not at a right level, end up losing more, right? So so that's why it's a teamwork. Anyway, so HNT just broke about this support level, which is a good news, correct? And you see the difference now. Why? See, there were so many examples. You see how it was rejected here 4 days ago. Rejection. You didn't know this future. I mean, you didn't know that this day, this time, it will really break about. Nobody knows that. But you, at least now retrospectively, you can clearly see that there were two major attempts, and this is a successful attempt, right? Now it makes sense that now, so now you will rank HNT higher compared to GRT, right? And you will rank some other coin higher compared to HNT. So when you put money, you can decide which one should deserve more is based on where they stand. So I'm giving you some examples here. These are live examples. And if you can note these points, and if you think that it makes sense, this could become your own guide, a rule book. And if you follow this rule book, and then I would say, I'm not saying it will do wonder, but I will let you experience. And if you come to me and say you're right after a month or so, that I followed this kind of rule book, best practices, and I planned my money and allocation accordingly, then I would be very happy. And then I won't have to say that, see, I was telling you about it and all, because I believe in experience. But at least we can see from the historical data point of view that why it was so important. This support, you see why it is so important. And then, so when it was going down, it supported, but then you have to recognize that this support may not hold, and it broke below, right? So some of the supports I gave are important from alts. See, the overall market is driven by Bitcoin. That's fact. But some of the supports that I provided are important, right? Sometimes the percentage proportion is different. That's why alts could behave very differently. But and the science of support and resistance is dynamic. Practically, it's not possible for me to give support at a micro level. What I do for Bitcoin, I cannot do for each and every coin. It's not possible because supports are not set in stone. They are they change as the structure changes. I cannot tell more, but at least I would say that it's not that you have to adjust it, in short, right? So that's why I focus more mainly on Bitcoin, because that's practically I can do it, but it's impossible for 40 plus coins, 50 coins. However, I give a general support, so that is good enough anyway. So, and then previous resistance you can use as, so for an example, this was previous resistance, you can treat this as support as well. That's a valid point. That's a valid support. Anyway, so let's see. So ICP broke above resistance. It tried to break above, failed, but now it's successful, which is good news. Now you see how it rejected here and then could not come, and now you see the reaction. I would not say outright rejection, but at least you see the some correction here. So it you can say this is a good news, this is a good attempt, but when you have to choose coin, would I choose IOTA? Of course not, because I would like it to break above this level, especially where it got rejected earlier. So this is how I pick coin. Kawa. You see how the previous resistance provided support. I don't know why. In this case, my support is far below. I'll have to update it. Maybe I'll bring up to this level. So now this is good news because it's now about to break above this cluster. So that's good news. So what you can expect it to hit this one again. So now when you have to choose, you may choose this one because now it is near breakout, and then say, okay, I can enjoy 28%. Okay, if it is short term, if you are for short term, and then if this is broken above, you can say, okay, now we can expect it to react near this level, and so on. So each resistance is going to be your checkpoint. Okay, each checkpoint you are going to assess whether it wants to go up or not. It's simple. And now for example, this one, so it broke above the resistance, the support, right? And it stayed above, and now it is climbing up. Now it's approaching. Now if you buy from here when it was moving up, probably it was okay, but now it is approaching. So I would say, okay, it's very close, so maybe this level is a better level. Whatever, 11.5 level is a better level than this level, because I don't want it to touch and then pull back and waste my money, or lock up my money, because for me that matters a lot. Now this is better. Why? Because see, multiple rejection if you look at, and now it is breaking above. So this is better, much better, and now you can expect it to continue at a faster pace. Link, similar thing, couple of attempts to break above. Now you see breakout. So this makes sense. But then I think in this case, this is better levels because I think that it's right on the trend line, downtrend line in this case. Marginally, maybe a little more. So that's why I would say this level is better. 29K is much better than this. So this is anyway looking good, but maybe a little more. LTC is looking good today. It is moving up, so we can expect it to touch 180 level approximately. Luna is also one of the top ones. Simple reason being, it's now It recovered quickly. Not only that, it didn't go down much. And yesterday it didn't participate in terms of percentage, but it was good. It R2 was not broken below. In that case, it remained above it, and now it is heading for R3. So it's continuing its journey from R2, right? So for me, this is a better choice simply because this has actually this is out of this major mess, and now not much of a resistance until R3. So this is how you would pick coin. Matic, Matic makes sense. Matic makes sense now than yesterday, right? Because it has broken above the support. NKN is approaching the support, so you may expect a ride for whatever percentage, right? You may expect 13% move, but don't surprise when it reacts at this level. So that's why I'm keeping this level, because this is acting as your support resistance now. Now you see one has stopped near the previous support. Okay, that mean, and also the previous, this blue is very close, so you consider that whole entire region is full of resistance. Even though 6.5 6.5%, it's up by 6.5%, if I have a choice, I will not take this. Okay, simple reason being, it is middle of the resistance. This is not a good level. I would rather wait for this to be broken above, if I have to take it. It's simple as that, because it's easier then it will get a good ride, because what I don't like is they stop after a day or two. When you take, you'd like to have that coin run for a few days, right? So I know, because of Bitcoin, everybody was under pressure. So that's a different case. But if you don't consider the Bitcoin factor, and if you have to just choose based on altcoins merit, then whatever I said with different example could be your guideline, if you think that it makes sense, right? So now look at QNT. Now QNT makes sense because now it has broken above the support, which was a resistance earlier. So this makes sense. SKL, nice bounce from this. So this is amazing. It hit the interim resistance and then retested this. I didn't remove trend line for a reason. I kept this trend line, and look at this technicality here. Look at this. So this is a trend line, rejection, 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 right? So this is trend line, and the same trend line provided the support. So amazing. I kept it for a reason. So next, what next? Of course, very simple. Now you know the drill, right? So this is where this is a challenge, right? When I say challenge, means not in a negative sense. It means it's a hurdle, and it has to break above, and you can expect some reaction here. If it breaks above, then this is the next one. If this is broken above, this is the next one. Probably I gave enough examples, so I can now go faster. Now SOL has hit the resistance, which is R18. You know what I'm going to say now, right? I'm not going to say. Anyways, point is, it has reached the resistance. Anyone who is interested, the better level is above the blue line. SRM making progress. Not bad. Today is good. Not bad. Sushi. Look at this one. We got so many examples. Rejected by previous support. It had amazing bounce. Rejected by previous support. I didn't see this actually. I'm seeing after 3-4 days. Many days actually. I was tracking different chart though. Anyway, so yeah, another example. So it has to break about this. Then it gives green light. Tel has broken above the support, which is good news. But I would say this is still low because this was too deep. To me, unless and until Tel 0.223, something like this, I'm not interested in Tel, if you ask me. If I had to choose, again, I don't think from a potential gain and all. It's still near the support, and especially this was too deep. So some exception are there, which I highlight in this call, that it broke above support. So yeah, but yeah, I would take this as an exception, and then I'll say 0.023 would be a better level compared to this level. Theta is near resistance, so you know what I mean. A good bounce. A uni is looking good. Expect it to hit 30, this range, and then we'll see, right? So it has been a volatile coin, not bad, especially it got good bounce because of some changes in China, and it got advantage. Now I think it's making progress here, not bad at all. Wet is near resistance, which I calculated today morning. I shared with everyone. This was a special case, so whenever there is a special case, I would highlight if I spot like this, because if it reacts, you should not be surprised, right? It broke above, wonderful, but now this is a resistance you can keep in mind. So when it breaks above 0.12, then it makes sense. This is invisible wall. Okay, not bad, I would say. VRA is looking good. You can expect some. So still, I don't think it is best until it breaks above 0.04. So not bad as far as direction is up. So not bad at all. Waves, waves. Okay, sort of. This is a big resistance zone. Not bad, I would say. Not bad. Better would be 27.5. In this case, this point of rejection would be better. So yeah, little push. 27.5 will give a boost. XTZ has been, so XTZ reacted near R7 like earlier. It was amazing, right? And XTZ, I would add one comment that XTZ didn't go up yesterday. Very interesting point. This is 3-day, so that you don't see it. But if you look at intraday move, when BTC was pumping, XTZ was not pumping. So before, so BTC pumped yesterday, and before that XTZ pumped. So what I observed on XTZ, that XTZ pumped. As soon as BTC started pumping yesterday, it stopped pumping and it moved sideways for whole entire day. You can see that. Okay, maybe I'll show you quickly here on hourly. You see this one, this is yesterday. This is where Bitcoin was pumping, and this was flat. And today it went up. And here it went up where Bitcoin was not pumping hard. So this is interesting. So I'm not trying to say it is always going to be the case, but whenever it happens a couple of times, I would definitely highlight. And if it happens more and more, then maybe we can say this could be the coin where the Bitcoin is not doing well. Maybe this is where we can focus. As I said, it's not a rule, but if it happens frequently, I remember Link used to do a year ago. Link used to do, Solana did recently. So there are some coins, there are phases, not forever, phases where they would do something different than Bitcoin, right? I cannot say exactly when the Bitcoin goes up and it exactly at that time it goes down. But point is, they kind of ignore what Bitcoin is would do. So this is an example where XTZ went up when Bitcoin was not moving so much or silent, in fact, and then XTZ was silent when Bitcoin pumping, and now right now Bitcoin is silent and XTC pump. So we'll have to see how long this goes, but it's good to know, because when the Bitcoin is not doing so much or moving sideways or something like that, and if something is giving us opportunity, then you know you can always keep XTZ in mind. That's what I'm highlighting. So right now, why it stopped technically speaking? Because it has hit the resistance R7 again. So this is not a surprise. So once this is broken above, you can expect R8. Very simple, right? So with this note, I think we are done with the alt. I would say, see, alts are looking good, no doubt about it, right? Because BTC is not breaking below at this moment. It is moving under very narrow range we saw in today's session. My only message is you enjoy alt as long as BTC behaves, but don't ignore Bitcoin. In a sense, keep an eye on Bitcoin, keep an alert on Bitcoin. I'm there, but I might be offline for a few hours here and there. But point is, the level we have covered in detail. Put alert on your app, and if what you have to do is when the alert you're alerted, you immediately check your alt. If your alt is doing fine, fine. Otherwise, you think what to do. So right now, I say don't think about any negative outcome from alt point of view, because they're going up. So nothing to worry, especially in last half an hour, I would say, because I see they charged up. But I have my doubt. I covered in my Bitcoin session that I'm not 100% sure if Bitcoin will go up without one dip, which could be 45K or 46K range. And if it goes up, we'll celebrate, right? We have green level for Bitcoin. So maybe before we end, we'll just look at Bitcoin current status. It is range bound and it is making everybody crazy. So I would simply say, fine, it is dancing around this level, but consider confirmation once it breaks above this level. I think there are very close by a resistance level. So now it's getting trickier. You might think so to me from this level onwards. So this level onwards, this is whole entire spectrum of resistance. Yes, so it's so tricky, as if as if I want to make this as a whole entire orange zone. It's like this, which is true in a sense. From a macro point of view, this channel has to be broken above. From my technique, from a channel point of view, and from my calculation point of view, this is the most important resistance, right? After this one, and in between also there are resistance. So I feel as if I keep this line, you know that unless and until I'm talking about new all-time high and all, okay, I'm not talking about few percentage here and there, I'm talking about new all-time. I just feel that this is whole entire region is full of resistance, and the move that I see here is this kind of a move potentially, and then decide where to go. So if it doesn't go down, then also there are bunch of resistance. So I think few days going to be bumpy, and global market is, I'm not convinced. Friday was off for China. They'll return, so Sunday evening will start getting close. The futures will open Sunday my time, evening time, so maybe around 11 o'clock in the night for UTC Sunday, and that's where the future opens, US stock futures, and we'll start getting clue. Today's Saturday, so within 30 hours or around 34 hours, we'll start getting some data, right? So until then, just be cautious, I would say. If and it's okay. See, this is not flying. It means it's not going to go too far, in my point of view. This is making progress, but yeah, it's up to you how you take the definition of too far and all. Because I see big picture. For me, if the Bitcoin has to go to 500,000, let's say, I don't care whether you buy at 48K or you buy at 50K. You see my point? So that way, macro trend point of view, that statement is not for few days or few weeks point of view. I'm talking about a very long term trend point of view. Okay, so I'm just asking for being a little cautious and conservative, but of course that's my style and I cannot impose. Okay, with that note, I'll end this session and open for any question.